Hey, Shalom Israel, Shalom Baltimore. This we at the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Give it up for the law class. Hey, check it out. We've been bringing this truth out since 1969 that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, that our oppressor, known as the colonizer or the pilgrim, the Spaniard, he is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Means he's the biggest deceiver on the face of this earth. And here's the thing. Despite the things that this devil has done, for some reason we still seek to have peace with him. Like, right. We still seek to have him love us. And I don't know how much has to happen to us. I don't know what we need to see to realize, like, this oppressor is not our friend, man. This oppressor is not our buddy. He's not trying to be equal to us. You see what I'm saying? Like, so in turn, we got to stop seeking peace with him, because when we seek peace with someone who don't want peace with us, that makes us look weak, man. Right. And that's actually how we've been looking. We're gonna get in the scriptures, but like, you look at that, you seen it at the inauguration of a day. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got black people, I mean, you talk about step and fetch it. You see what I'm saying? They tongue in cheeking it. You see what I'm saying? Like, they smiling, they singing Negro spirituals, they thanking God for Trump. You see what I'm saying? Like, and here it is. The Lord told us that we shouldn't be doing none of that, man. Right. We shouldn't be appointing a king specifically of another nation over us at all, man. We got to stop. We got to learn to stop seeking peace with them that hate us, man. Right. Let me get that in the scriptures. Like, this is not even us saying it. This is the Lord saying it, man. Let me get 1 Ezra 8:85.
1 Ezra chapter 8, verse 85.
And this for all the new people. Like, if you don't know, 1 Ezra is in the Apocrypha, just so you know. Go ahead.
First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
It say, moreover, you shall never. Like, people don't realize when the Lord say you shall never, that means forever. That means like 10 years from now, 20 years from now. This still holds true right here. You shall never seek to have peace with them. Why is that? Keep going.
That ye may be strong.
That ye may be strong. Seeking peace with them makes us weak.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The Lord is telling us if we don't seek peace with them, we will be strong. But seeking peace with them, that means that we give them the best of us. You see what I'm saying? And they take advantage of it, which leave us weak for each other, man.
Right.
Seeking peace with them makes us weak. Keep going.
And eat the good things of the land.
And eat the good things of the land. You see what I'm saying? Like, we are second class. We're less than second class citizens here. Everywhere we go at this point, because we're seeking peace and we're weak and we don't have no power, man. That's why they give us straps and everything. That's why we can't grow our own fruits and vegetables.
Right.
That's why we can't have certain parts of the land, and you can actually get arrested for growing a certain amount of fruits and vegetables on your own property. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
And that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children evermore.
Listen, the Lord is saying, listen, if you don't seek peace with them, you can actually leave an inheritance to your family, man, to your children. How many of us can do that, man? How many of us can leave an inheritance to our family, to our children?
Right.
Here's the thing. When we seek peace, we'll never be able to do this. You know why? Because us seeking peace, it takes our strength away from us. The things that make us great as a people, when we seek peace with the person that's trying to harm us, it takes all that fight away from us, and we start to give things away. You understand? Like, how many times have you seen where You got your great grandfather, and they may have a couple acres of land. They pass, give it to the kids. The kids then sold it for $50,000. They done sold 15 acres of land for $50,000. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't even have an inheritance at this point. That's because we seeking peace with the people we shouldn't be seeking peace with. Like, who we should seek peace with is each other as well as the Most High, man. That's what we should be doing, man. Learning to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we seek peace with the Most High. Right. That's what we should be yearning to do. But here it is. We want to seek peace with Donald Trump. We want to sing and dance and pray to false gods. You see what I'm saying? To uplift a devil. You see what I'm saying? But here it is when it comes to the Most High and it comes to his law, statutes, and commandments, we can't do that. You see what I'm saying? You can't be perfect. You can't keep these laws. Celebrating Christmas is something like that. That's tradition. That's it's a feeling that I've always had. Thanksgiving is a time for me to get with my family. So we can make all excuses to not seek peace with the Lord, but we will run and bend over backwards to seek peace with to seek peace with these devils, man. And a nation who cares nothing about us. But could drop there. Let me get Deuteronomy 23:6. Like I was watching glimpses of that inauguration with them. Right. And I was disgusted, man. Like, you got black preachers up there. I mean, when I tell you, they singing the Star Spangled Banner. They praying with eyes closed. They crip walking up there. They, shuffling their feet. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, how can you not see what you're doing at this point? You see what I'm saying? Like, we're really seeking peace with a people who hate us, man. Yeah. Keep going. You got that?
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not seek their peace, nor their prosperity all thy days forever.
The Lord just said, man, we should not seek their peace or their prosperity all the days forever, man. Like, here it is. We will lay down the fabric of who we are, because we feel like if we seek peace with them, that's going to be an opportunity for us to make money. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's actually not true. That's actually not true. You see what I'm saying? Like, ask the North American Indians, who we know as the Gadites. How many treaties have this oppressor made with him? How many treaties or how many promises have we been promised by politicians? You see what I'm saying? We've been promised everything. Last election, Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you must not be black.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But on the flip side, what did Joe Biden ever do for black people? What did Donald Trump do for black people? I did see him pardon all them rioters from the January 6th Capitol raid. I did see him pardon all of them. But there's so many black men sitting in jail right now for crimes that they did not commit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Sitting in there for 20, 30 years. Captain Zaryak just brought out a stat that the FBI have a statistic. Yeah, black people are arrested more than any other person per capita. However, we're not convicted. If you look at the number one race of people who gets exonerated for not committing a crime and let free, it's also black people. You see what I'm saying? So you got a lot of us that's going to jail for crimes that we do not commit. And then later on, they had to release us. You got something? Go ahead.
It's amazing that you brought that up. We got the most exonerated. And the crazy thing about that is, after we get exonerated, it's always 20, 30, or 40 years.
Right.
After they have totally destroyed our lives.
Right.
So that exoneration is really not an exoneration, because that life is still destroyed.
Right. And that's a good point you make too. You see what I'm saying? That's purposeful. You see what I'm saying? Those people that stormed that Capitol, You know, they should not have been exonerated. They broke the law, man.
Right.
They literally broke the law. But here it is, you got people sitting in jail who have never broken the law, and yet they're in there and they're going to spend 30 years, and then you'll come and say, you know, we're sorry, you know, and be on your way. That's how it works. You see what I'm saying? We should never seek their peace or their prosperity. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up thinking that by us seeking peace and by us holding hand with this oppressor, that we're going to be financially secure at this point. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not how it works. That is not how it works, man. What happens is we get a promise. We get a promise, and then what happens? That promise never gets fulfilled.
Right.
You know, it's always you know, how many brothers and sisters have you seen murdered in the street in cold blood by somebody that by whether it's police or whether it's by another race of people? We've seen many of those things happen, right? We see Joe Biden get in office. What's the first thing he do? He make a bill for the Asians, an anti-hate bill for the Asians because one of them got beat up. You see what I'm saying? So on one hand, you want to protect the person who got beat up, but you don't want to protect the people who are getting murdered and killed and unalived and essayed. You see what I'm saying? This is because we trying to seek peace, man, with a nation of people who hates us, man.
Right.
Like, and this is what we really got to understand. Like, this is one of those things where it almost seems like an oxymoron. Well, it is. Like, we love the people. This is where the Stockholm syndrome come from. We love the people that abuse us, man. The more abuse we take, the more submissive we get.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And we got to come out of that spirit, man, because that's not the spirit that the Lord gave us, man. If I could, any more on that?
Wow.
Drop that. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. We're gonna see, you know, we're gonna see real soon. We're gonna see real soon that the words that we're saying up here, these ain't our words, man. These are the words of the Lord. Right. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna see how true they are in a brief second when it comes to Trump. You see what I'm saying? Because how can we be at peace with a man who's threatening taking actions on our own brother, man? You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us is, you know, we foot Trump and this, that, and the third. But yet and still, do you still not realize what's happening on that border? And it's about to get worse. You see what I'm saying? Like, our people are still being destroyed, man. Our people are still being kidnapped, sold into sex slavery. You see what I'm saying? Like, they had our children drinking out of dirty toilets, man.
Right.
You know, sleeping in cages like livestock. And it's going to get worse now. So how can we seek peace with how can we seek peace with a people who does things like that to our people, man? You got that? Do it.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
It's a never. Here's that word, never again. We are never to trust that enemy, man. We are never to trust him, man. You know, he speaks one way, like with the Native Americans, what they call him, the forked tongue devil. Yeah, he speaks with a forked tongue. That's why it's because he say one thing and he does another. The Lord just told us, never trust thy enemy. Any questions on that?
Wow, sir.
Okay. Never trust thy enemy. Keep going.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
It's a for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness, man. You know, the same way that iron looks pretty and shiny when you first get it. You see what I'm saying? It looks, you know, beautiful. You leave it to in its natural element, you feel me? And you'll see the rust come all on it. It's going to be ugly, dirty looking, and you're going to see the truth of that metal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The Lord just likened our oppressor to that same thing, man. Though Donald Trump come in, and that's another thing. Like, it disgusted me to see people calling Trump the black man's president because he brought back TikTok, man. Because he brought back TikTok. Like, we call this man our president because he brought back a social media app. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The scripture just said, never trust thy enemy, for like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You see what I'm saying? Like, right now, what Trump is doing to the average black person, he's looking like that iron. He's looking like that shiny iron, you know, unrusted. You see what I'm saying? But leave him in his element for a short time, and you're gonna see the ugliness of it. You see what I'm saying? That's what's coming. Keep going.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, you know, take good heed of him. Like, the Lord is saying, you ever see the oppressor? They try to talk soft to you. You know, when you come across them, they kind of like, they almost put themselves in a submissive state. You see what I'm saying? That's because they're trying to lull you to sleep. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to rock you to sleep and take away all your good sense. You see what I'm saying? For lack of better terms. You know, when they come and they want to talk soft spoken and they want to smile and they bend their head like this. Listen, you better take good heed, man. This is a predator that you're dealing with. This is a predator that you're dealing with, and this is why we end up in a lot of drama and a lot of BS, man. Keep going.
And though thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Lord say, if you do what I say, never trust him. It's gonna be like you wiped and looked through a looking glass. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's gonna be. That's how you're gonna be able to see through everything that this oppressor is doing. You see what I'm saying? Just because he come off humble, just because he talks friendly, just because he says the things we want him to say, we're going to be able to see right through it. Right now, we can't see through it because we still seeking peace with him, because we still trust him, man.
Right.
When we don't do what the Lord say, we get burned, man. The Lord then told us not to seek peace, and the Lord told us to never trust him. And those both of those things, that's what we're doing as a people, man. And that's why we keep getting burned. The Lord is saying, when you don't trust him, you're going to be able to see right through him as if you wiped a looking glass, man. And that's what we have to bring out. Like, a lot of people say, well, why y'all always talking about the so-called white man? Why y'all always getting on him? Can't y'all talk about something else? You feel me? Here's the thing. If you got somebody beguiling and lying to your people and causing your people to go down a certain road, you see what I'm saying? Are you not going to say nothing? Or you going to sit there and be quiet? You see what I'm saying? That's the problem with us as a people, man. When we actually correct ourselves, you have to bring out the people who influence us to do wrong, man.
Right.
And if we don't, what are we doing? The Bible tells us to do this. To speak against these things, man. So for anybody who got a problem with it, you know, you take that up with the Lord, man. Because this is what the Lord once brought out. The Lord don't want us listening to these oppressors, man. Trusting these oppressors. You know, seeking peace with them. This is why we dying in the streets, man. Any more on that? Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Listen, when you don't trust them and you can see through them, that's when you're going to know without a shadow of a doubt that this man is still evil. Right. That this person is still evil. That nice so-called white man on your job, you know, because he let you leave 10 minutes early today. You see what I'm saying? Maybe you know, ask you, did you want something for lunch? And he catered lunch and whatnot. You let that fool you and beguile you and to thinking he's a nice guy. And you're gonna find out that his rust was not always wiped away. You're gonna learn how wicked he is, man. That's just the way it works. The Lord is giving us a game plan. on how we got to deal with these people, man. And the way we got to deal with them is according to these scriptures, man. We got to stop seeking peace with them, and we got to stop trusting them, man. Like, it's so crazy. Like, and this is what kills me. We'll be sitting up here, and we will say, Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, right? We'll say it. And we'll get so much kickback. How can you say that? Can you do this? Can you trace this? Can you yada, 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 yada? But as soon as one of these oppressors come out and say, hey, you know, blacks are the true children of the book.
Right.
That's what everybody. And you know what? He real. He real. He told the truth.
Right.
He said that blacks are the true children of the book, yada, yada, yada. You see what I'm saying? It almost takes an oppressor to validate something that you should already know because your people are teaching it to you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If we take the attitude that we have for each other, man, and just flip it 180 degrees, we'll be in better condition, man.
Right.
We'll learn to trust each other, and we'll learn to stop trusting everybody else, man. Because this is why we're in the conditions that we're in, following behind these other nations, man. Trying to be buddy and friendly. We don't have to be that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And listen, Black, Hispanic, and Native American, man, we ain't telling nobody to go out here and act crazy and do nothing like that. You feel me? But at the end of the day, you don't have to get on your knees, man. And you don't have to bow your spirit down to them, man. You don't have to do that. Any more on that? All right, drop that. Let me get Psalms 55 and 21, Bubba Michelle. You go ahead and take it when you got it. Yeah, come on, that's 12.
Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. He has put forth his hands as against such as be at peace with him.
He said he has put here. Read that again.
Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
He has put forth his hand as such that be at peace with him. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got this oppressor. He'll put forth his hand. You see what I'm saying? He'll put forth his hand and he'll do certain things despite the fact that you are at peace with him, man. Look at the North American Indians.
Right.
Look at the North American Indians who they extended a hand to him. You see what I'm saying? They extended their hand to him. They gave him all the resources that they could have. They took them in as one of their own. And what happened? He turned around and unalived them.
Right.
He turned around, unalived them, and then unalived them and to the point where as though he has a holiday that he celebrates because he unalived so many of them. And they couldn't feast every day of the month. So they had to consolidate it to one day, that Thanksgiving. This is what he do, man. Keep going.
He has broken his covenant.
He has broken his covenant, man. How many treaties have he broke with the North American Indian? Like, how many promises? How many promises have he made to blacks, Hispanics, and natives? How many these politicians? Every year they say that they're going to do X, Y, and Z. You know, they don't come out and say black people; they say minority.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you gotta know that lingo too. When they say minority, it's not you, black man. Good, Madam.
Or people of color.
Or people of color. You see what I'm saying? That means it's going to go to the Asian. That means it's going to go to the East Indian. That means it's going to go to the African. But it ain't coming to us, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Right.
They got a lot of promises that they make, and they don't keep any of it. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
It say the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Like, these politicians, man, they talk so well. It's like they talk so well, they'll gas you up to believing that they are who they say they are. They'll gas you up to thinking that they're actually righteous, upright men who the Lord sanctified and put in office. You see what I'm saying? Their words are smooth as butter, but go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
But war is in his heart, man. War is in his heart, man. And trust me, war is in the heart of Donald Trump. Don't get it twisted. You see what I'm saying? Like, war is in his heart. And this is why we got to be careful, man. We are on the brink of World War III, whether people want to believe it or not. You see what I'm saying? Like, this sidebar, he just told Russia that if they don't end this war in Ukraine, he gonna start putting sanctions on them. He said Vladimir Putin's my buddy, but this has to end right now. Listen, we are on the brink of World War III as we speak. You see what I'm saying? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we got to stop trusting in this man. We got to stop trusting in this system. We got to stop trusting in these oppressors, because what happens is when we trust in them and we listen to them smooth words, we get ourselves caught up in that war that's coming. It's war all in their heart. You see what I'm saying? And eventually that war is going to have them clashing. And we're going to get caught in the middle. We're going to get caught in the crossfire. You know why? We shouldn't be there in the first place. You see what I'm saying? When Ukraine was first getting bombed, when they was first starting to get bombed by Russia,
right?
Though they was Africans, they just knew that they had dark skin.
Right.
They was telling them, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to sit here and you're going to fight. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going to happen to us, because we want to trust and we want to seek the peace of these oppressors, man. We're going to be in a situation where they're going to so-called try to send their people into safety.
Right.
And guess what, black man, Hispanic, and Native American man? You're going to be left there to pick the pieces up, because their words are smoother than butter, but there's nothing but war in their heart, man.
Right.
Like, the Lord is giving us the game plan right now. It's kind of up to us to listen. And that's the problem. We have not been listening, man. And that's why the Lord has to send his priests and prophets out here to wake his people up, man.
Right.
Because who else is going to teach us who we should and shouldn't trust? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you got kids, you realize that your kids don't know right from wrong, so you have to teach them. This is the Lord teaching his kids, teaching his children, man, right from wrong. And the biggest thing he's telling us to do is not to trust and not to seek peace with our oppressor, man. We have to listen. Any more on that?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
His words were softer than oil, man. You know how it is, like, especially brothers of berets. You know how you get that oil poured on you. See what I'm saying? Everything feels smooth. Everything feels good. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Smoother than oil. But his words were drawn swords, man. They are to cut you. They are to destroy you, to unalive you. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's what they do, man. And like, my stomach turned just seeing bits and parts of that inauguration, man, and how our people get so caught up in the lie, man, that we will go up there and we will do anything that we can to seek peace and show face with a people who can't stand us, man. How does it? You ever see people who they try to befriend people who don't like them, and everything that they do is kind of looked down upon? Like, you sitting up there and you trying to crack jokes, you trying to be funny, you trying to be helpful, you trying to do everything you can to get a person who hate you to like you. You see what I'm saying? Eventually, what they gonna do? They gonna just use you, man. Yeah. Like, that's how they look at it.
Yep.
You ain't never going to be in the fold. But here it is, you shucking and jiving for them. Like, I was disgusted when I seen certain things, man. Like, And in particular, it was this one Detroit preacher, man. It was this one Detroit preacher, man. Like, yeah, he was singing. He had his eyes closed out. Hey, he had it. Listen, man, listen. He had his eyes closed, you know, preaching and singing. You see what I'm saying? Man, I was utterly disgusted, man. You know, and it's like, here it is. Like, we stay in these conditions. So, like, we probably gonna have to. No, it's missing. We need a bigger one. It's one right here next to the thing. Should I get 1 sec? Use that something in there for water. I would just put it right there with that. What's the name right here? I'll probably put that one right there. Put that one right there. So I think that one was leaking too. That's too hard. Yeah, so it is, man. It's like we keep finding ourselves in positions, man, where we fall. Any questions or comments on the in the chat?
Sir.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, they just answered the question.
What they say?
So you wouldn't have that within the Thanksgiving that we do this reset. Yeah, it would. Other side.
Yeah, con.
He said, put it in the Thanksgiving. If we would have knew this precept, we could do that scripture.
Right. You're absolutely right. Like Thanksgiving, like it would have been the Thanksgiving, but we wouldn't have been celebrating it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They always going to celebrate their triumph over us. You see what I'm saying? The problem is we celebrating it with them. We celebrating with the people who unalived us, celebrating the unaliving of our brothers. You see what I'm saying? So if we'd have knew this, that day wouldn't have got as big as it got because they profit off of us. That's why they got Black Friday. Black Friday comes from the only reason they created a Black Friday is because they knew black people was going to go out there and spend money the day after Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we fund this economy. We fund this economy. Like right here, you got a mall in Baltimore City. It's Mondawmin Mall. They call it Murder Mall. You see what I'm saying? Because so much stuff happens there. But this is one of the biggest malls in the United States of America. You know why? Because black people shop there and spend cash. They got so much cash going in and out of Mondawmin that it's still one of the biggest malls in the entire world, in the entire country, man. That's because black people, we spend money. We spend money and support these. We support the economy. You see what I'm saying? And we do this because we don't trust each other. You feel me? You had something?
It's amazing that you brought that out because think about this. That's the only mall that hasn't shut down in Baltimore.
The only mall. The only mall.
All the malls shut down except for that.
The only mall. And how many black vendors you got in there? Here you go. None. Ain't no black vendors. We are strictly the consumer there. You know why? Because we still seeking to have peace with them, man. We having peace with them, and we trusted them to the point where as though we don't even see the play that's being had on us. Whereas though they put them in the center. They put them in the center of black people. In the heart of black people. You see what I'm saying? You don't have no black vendors in there. And yet and still, that mall is bringing in so much money per capita per year that is the only mall that has not been shut down. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous, man. Any more on that?
Wow.
All right, let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 48. You go ahead and take it when you got it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
Keep going.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
Man, here it is. It say, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we're doing right now. Like, anybody familiar with Deuteronomy 28? Everything from 15 down is the curses that we had, right? It said, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. Like, that's what we're doing here, man. This is not our resting period. This is not our period of rulership. This is not our place of, running things. You see what I'm saying? It's a, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst. In hunger and in thirst, like, here's the thing. If we get hungry, how many of us, as a people, if we get hungry as a people, can we go out there and can we depend on each other for food? Unfortunately, we got to go to our oppressor for food. Can we get clean drinking water on our own? We got to go to our oppressor for clean drinking water. You see what I'm saying? Like, and in nakedness, and in one of all things. Yeah, we got black clothing vendors, but you got to be getting the material from somebody to make that stuff. Do we own? They have a stronghold. That's why they had us picking the cotton and the silk.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Going to their plants and stuff like that, and their plantations. Like, we don't own anything. You see what I'm saying? That's because we're serving our enemy right now, man. And that's important for us to know. So here it is. Yeah, we looking at Trump and we seeing with Trump, that's our president, this, that, and the third. The Lord just called him an enemy, man. And we're serving our enemy, man. This is not our friend. This is not, I don't care what he say, we still can't seek peace with our enemy, man.
Right.
Like, it's counterproductive. Then they say, the nakedness and want of all things, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that's what happens when we seek peace, man. When we seek peace with them, he's going to put a yoke of iron on your neck. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to tighten it and he's going to use it until he destroys you, man.
Right.
It happens over and over. A lot of these pastors think that they're going to go up and they're going to talk to Trump, and somehow they're going to change his heart and things, this, that, and that, this, that, and the third. But what they don't realize is all you did was sold yourself. You sold yourself like a cheapo.
Right.
Because when he come a calling, you better answer. And if you don't answer, there's going to be repercussions for it. You see what I'm saying? So you can laugh and chuckle and be friends with him all you want. But just know when he come a calling, you better answer.
Right.
You feel me? Or you will fall from whatever prominence that you think you have. That's just the way it works, man. Let me get Psalms 83 in verse 3, Brother Kashal.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
It said they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. What is crafty counsel? What does crafty counsel look like today? What does it look like for our people? Child support. What else? What's some other forms of crafty counsel?
Redlining.
You see what I'm saying?
Taxation without representation.
Taxation without representation, Stop and frisk. Yeah. Stop and frisk. What else? No knock warrants.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is crafty counsel. This crafty counsel means that there's a conglomerate. There's a group of people from every nation, from every race of people that come together and sit down at a table and they make plans of how they're going to prosper and how they're going to destroy our people in the process. You feel me?
Right.
So they do strategic things. They can't just outward come out and say it. We're gonna take from y'all. You see what I'm saying? They can't say that, so they have to do certain things very subtle. You see what I'm saying? For instance, if you own a home, you know you never really own that home, right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You think because you own a home, you retire, you own a fixed income, and they keep raising the property taxes.
Right.
They keep raising that water bill. You see what I'm saying? Let you not be able to pay that water bill. And they put a lien on your property. Let them taxes raise and you can't cover them on your fixed income. Guess what? That house is gone, man. How about when you go to the bank and get a loan? You see what I'm saying? The bank look at it and they know that you can't afford whatever you're trying to buy. And they still give you that loan because they're going to let you pay into whatever you got to pay into. And guess what? They're going to come snatch it from you. If you look at crafty counsel, then you talk about gentrification. You see what I'm saying? Where they're going to come in, you know, they supposed to put like here in Baltimore City, you see a lot. You know, they built a casino and say they're supposed to put money into the school system. There ain't been a nickel put into the school system yet. You see what I'm saying? But you'll see a Starbucks go up. You'll see a Trader Joe's go up in the hood. When you start seeing stuff like that, you already know what it is. You know? What's some other forms of crafty counsel? Prison system, Planned Parenthood. You see what I'm saying? These are all forms of crafty counsel that we face, man. And they say they are confederate against thee. They say they are confederate against thee, man. Like, let me get that next scripture right for you. What's the name? They're confederate against thee.
Illegal or illicit against a person or a people.
Right.
To be confederate against someone is to do something illicit or illegal against a person or people.
Right. And that's exactly what they've done. You see what I'm saying? Been illegal and illicit in how they deal with us, man. Keep going.
The next one. Sir.
No, just read 3 again and keep going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden one.
And they say they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Now, here's the question. Who are thy hidden ones? Anybody in the chat want to take a guess at it? Who are the hidden ones that they have consulted against? Because we all know that they're consulting, right?
Right.
We all know that they're sitting around planning, but who are they planning against? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Type it into the chat. You think you know who they're consulting against when they say thy hidden ones? If you think you know who they're thy hidden ones, just type it in the chat real quick. You see what I'm saying? Because we got to show you it ain't just a coincidence that certain things are happening to certain people. I mean, these things have been set down. There's been councils about it. People have talked and said it, how they're going to do it. They've implemented plans, and here it is. They going for broke with it. What you got, Mathon?
Now said that Israel.
Damn right.
Hispanics and First Nation people.
That's right. Anybody else say anything?
Sir.
Yeah, Gana is absolutely right. You see what I'm saying? Like hidden ones are the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. We're hidden ones because we're the ones who lost our identity. You see what I'm saying? We're the ones who they hide this identity from. Everybody on the face of the earth know who they are according to their lineage. You see what I'm saying? We are the only people who have lost our identity. You see what I'm saying? Specifically in that slave trade. You see what I'm saying? It's been beat out of us. So they've consulted against thy hidden ones. That means they've consulted against us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Keep going with them.
Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That's why if you look at it, every other nation, they can be one into themselves, right? If you look at the East Indians, they can do business with you, but as a whole, they stay to themselves, right?
Right.
If you look at the Jewish man, he stays to himself. He do business with his people, and it's okay. Every race of people is okay for you to be one with your people. But when it comes to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we have to be one with everybody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When you see black people that just want to be with black people, now we get called racist. Now we get called, what they call us, KKK and all that kind of stuff. You feel me? You're not like the black KKK,
Right.
because we prefer to be with each other. Well, here it is. Every other race of people on the face of the earth, they stay with each other. But for some reason, they force us to be intermingled with everybody. You see what I'm saying? Read that again.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
From being a nation, man. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So here it is, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, right? If you say that you're Israelite to this day, right? As a black man, if you say you're Israelite, what's the first thing a person gonna ask you? No, what they gonna ask you? If you say I'm an Israelite, you see what I'm saying? People get frustrated when black men know who they are.
Right.
The first thing they're gonna ask you is, how do you know you're an Israelite?
Right. Yeah.
So much stuff been happening now, past now history. How do you know who you are? Right. Who questioned that Jewish man?
Right.
Who questioned that Jewish man about his lineage?
Right.
It's only when we come together.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I say, Salagi. That's why the parties say, and let us cut them off from being a nation. African American is not a nation.
Right.
That is not a nation, man. You got two nations of people and stuff, and you being called by both of them. That's not a people. Let the name of Israel be no more remembrance. A lot of us don't even know that we're Israel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it tells you that consulting that they doing, that confederacy that they putting against us, it's working. Keep going.
Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
Let's say, for they have consulted together with one consent. You see what I'm saying? That means that they all okayed it. You see what I'm saying? They sat down, they plotted and they planned, and all of them agreed to it, right? That's what they're saying, with one consent. Keep going.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee. They are one. They stand together against thee. You see what I'm saying? Not just the so-called white man. You got your East Indians, you got your Asians, you got your Africans. Who else is it? You got your all these nations, man. Your Arabs, like all of them come to that table and they make it agree. Is it a coincidence that the Asian got a strong hold on the nail business? You see what I'm saying? Is it a coincidence that when you come in every hood, there's an Asian corner store? Is it a coincidence that the East Indians got the Dunkin' Donuts, that the Arabs got the gas station? Is it a coincidence? No. This is a confederacy. This is something that they planned. This is something that they put together to destroy us, man. Because guess what? You won't find these stores in other neighborhoods, right? If you go to Little Italy, right here in Baltimore, it's a little town, little section, and it's considered Little Italy. You will not see no corner stores that's being ran by an Asian. You don't see no. You don't see no. You don't see no African business. You don't see no black businesses in there. You're only going to see Italian businesses. If you go to Chinatown, you got a Chinatown in every major city. You see what I'm saying? If you go to a Chinatown, when was the last time you seen a black business in Chinatown? You've never seen it. You see what I'm saying? But if you go to a barrio, if you go to a reservation, if you go to any hood, you're going to see all these people in our hood and they making good money off of us, man. That's because they are Confederate against us, man. You understand? Let me get let's drop that. Let me get Ezekiel 35:5. You read that. Oh, we get a chance, no?
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5.
What?
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in thy time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Yeah, and this is talking about this oppressive ours, man. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, man. An everlasting hatred. You see what I'm saying? Esau has had an everlasting hatred towards Jacob, man. The so-called white man has had an everlasting hatred towards blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? And he shed the blood of our people by the force of the sword in that time of calamity. You see what I'm saying? Like when we were vulnerable, he killed us. You see what I'm saying? You had a situation where he attacked us from the rear.
Right.
He attacked us from the rear, and typically, you know, you're weak, you're elderly. You see what I'm saying? A lot of your children will be in the rear. Your men would be up front. You know, he actually was so cowardly that he attacked us from the rear. You see what I'm saying? That's a perpetual hatred, man. That's why the scriptures say he shows no partiality to the young or to the old. You see what I'm saying? This has always been his spirit against us, man. His spirit has never been one of brotherly with us, man. There's been a perpetual hatred from the womb. You gotta remember, we fought in the womb. You see what I'm saying? This ain't nothing new. Read that one more time, Mathan.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
And here's the thing, like a lot of people wonder, and they wonder, what's your problem with the so-called white man? Here's the thing: they've shed our blood by the force of the sword. Guess what? And they have never been punished for it. You feel me? We've never gotten justice for the things that they've done to us, man. Like right now, you know, just as recent as a few years ago, you know, the Jewish man, because of the Holocaust, he arrested a Nazi war journal. He was a bookkeeper. This man was like 98 years old. He had like congestive heart failure, something like that. He was in a wheelchair. And he had an oxygen tank. His lawyer tried to argue that he was unfit to serve a prison sentence. That judge said, I don't care what condition he's in, he is going to jail because of the crimes he has committed.
Right.
So if we can understand that a Nazi war veteran or a Nazi war criminal should get punished for his role in the Holocaust, you can't sit here and tell me that we should forget what happened to us, man. You can't tell us that we should forget what happened to us, man. Our blood has been shed by the force of the sword for many, many centuries. You see what I'm saying? And this is why, like, these scriptures, though they was written in the old age, they still apply to the day. The Lord knows the spirit of those that he created. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord is telling us we should never trust them, man, and never seek peace with them.
Right.
Because their gods don't go down, our gods go down. And that's when we get unalive, man. Let me get 1 Peter 5 and 8, Bubba Kasha.
First Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
The Lord say, be sober, be vigilant. You see what I'm saying? Be sober. Like, in this context, it's talking about be clear-minded, man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, to be sober is to not be drunk. In this case, it's like, have you, be clear about who you coming up with, man. Be vigilant, because your adversary, black people would call that your opposition or your op. The devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking who he may devour. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is talking about this oppressor, now how he looks to devour us, man. He walks around as a roaring lion. You see what I'm saying? Like, we try to befriend police officers. You ever see sisters try to talk to a police officer thinking that they can talk to him nicely and maybe they won't be as aggressive and stuff like that?
Right.
And he end up body slamming her on her head and whatnot. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he don't show no partiality to our people, man, because he's been seeking to devour us anyway.
Right.
So once he gets an opportunity to, he's definitely going to do it. Like, always liking it, like, how you see a sign when you go in somebody's yard and say, beware of this dog, beware of the dog.
Yep.
You're going to be like, at the very least, you're going to look to see where the dog is at, right?
Right.
You're going to say, like, okay, if this dog is over here, I'm going to go the opposite direction. Well, here it is. The Lord is saying, this dude is like a roaring lion walking to see who he might devour. and instead of us getting the hell out of his way and leaving him alone, we go up there and we try to befriend him. Like, imagine us walking to a lion and trying to befriend the lion as if the lion is going to say, you know what, this is a good human right here. Maybe I shouldn't eat him. You see what I'm saying? This is how they look at us when we try to befriend them and try to seek their peace and stay in their face and start to trust them. They look at us like, man, you got to be stupid to death, or both. And that's how we look, man, when we coming off to a oppressor that's seeking to devour us, man.
Right. He's
walking around as a roaring lion. You see what I'm saying? Black people, we got to come out of this spirit of, we got to come out of this spirit of trying to seek peace with people who have an utmost, what the Bible called it, a perpetual hatred against us, man. Like, you got to realize they hate us for no reason. Like, when you hate a person because of the color of their skin, when you hate a person for something as trivial as that, ain't nothing I can say to you to make you be my friend. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Ain't nothing I can say to you to make you feel a certain way about me. You see what I'm saying? You can keep that energy when you can keep it pushing, you feel me? Because I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to sit here and powwow and break bread with you. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what we got to stop doing, man. Let me get Lamentations 4 and 18, but for sure.
Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps.
It say they hunt our steps, man. This is what happens, man. They hunt our steps. If you don't believe it, if you don't believe it, you go to prison and ask all them brothers, like, and be real, and find out how many brothers actually committed crimes, man. We just talked about that stat that the FBI pulled up, where black men are the most exonerated, even though it may be 30 years down the line. You see what I'm saying? They hunt our steps, man. They got something called quotas. They got something called quotas here in Baltimore. You feel me? So it'll come to a time where if they ain't getting enough arrests, they get on the street and they start pulling cars over. Like you'll go 2 lights, and there's always a police got somebody pulled over. It's quota time, and everybody know it, man. They say they hunt our steps. Keep going.
That we cannot go in our streets.
That we cannot go in our streets, man. They hunt our steps to the point we can't even go into the streets, man. Because we know if we go into the streets, there's a fine chance that either we're going to get arrested or we might not come home that night, man. That's the reality of it. For blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's the reality, man. They hunt our steps that we can't go in our streets. Keep going.
Our end is near.
Our end is near. That's what we say to ourselves. Our end is near. You see what I'm saying? Say it again.
Oh, I'm about to be caught.
Yeah, like that's how you feel. And guess what? Your tag and your paperwork will all be good. You see what I'm saying? And you like, this police following me, like, yo, what do he want? What do he see? My seatbelt on, I ain't for speed, but you know it's going to be something. That's because they hunting our steps that our days come to an end. Keep going.
Our days are fulfilled.
Our days are fulfilled. I mean, like, when you say our days are fulfilled, that means like our days coming to an end, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are end of days for us. There's police behind me. I'm in the court. This judge looking at me crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, like you feel like that. If you ever been to court, you feel like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Listen, I'd have been to traffic court. Yeah. I'd have been to traffic court. Like, yeah, I ain't coming home today. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Keep going.
For our end is come. First.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. And that's what happens to us, man. Like, that's what happens when you get hunted, man. When you get hunted, your head got to be on the swivel. You got to be watching everything you do. You got to watch everywhere you at. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a hell of a burden to bear. You see what I'm saying? For anybody. You see what I'm saying? But that's why we got to stop. That's why we got to stop trusting in them. Right. And stop trying to be friends with them and stuff like that. And the same vigor we show in trying to be friends and seek peace with them, we better try to be friends and seek peace with the Most High, man. We better seek peace with the Most High because that's our only safety in this madness, man. Right. That's the only, like, you come into this truth, you come into the ISHP, you learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. What's going to happen is you're going to start doing them. You're going to start living by them. That hedge of protection will be over you then, man. The Lord will make it where as though your enemies are at peace with you. You see what I'm saying? We ain't seeking peace with them, but the Lord will make it that they'll be peace with us. You see what I'm saying? But we ain't going to that. We ain't going to their barn burners. You see what I'm saying? We ain't sitting down eating dinners with them. You saying we ain't celebrating their holidays with them and all that nonsense. You see what I'm saying? We doing what we do and we letting them do what they do. Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's the position we have to take. Because if we take any other position, what we start to do is we start to lose ourselves, man. Right. I think it was Matham, like, you know, would say, like, when you integrate into somebody else, you integrate and you pretty much you lose yourself integrating into somebody else, man. Right. Because you don't bring your culture to them. You leave your culture where it's at and you start to assimilate into their culture. Right. To the point where it's though, and I haven't forgotten, we're gonna finish them feast days, you know, not my next class. But that's what happens. We got high holy days that we keep. Right. You see what I'm saying? We got a lot of high holy days that we keep, a lot of things that we do that we have no clue of, man. Because we've integrated and assimilated into another culture, man. Yep. And that's the problem we have every time we seek their peace, man. Like, it's a reason the Lord told us don't go out here and don't marry don't give our sons to their daughters and our daughters to their sons. The Lord said that because you know why? Once we integrate into him, we'll lose who we are, and then we'll soon forget him.
Yep.
And we'll stop celebrating and observing the Most High, and we'll start celebrating the gods of these false gods of these other people, man. You see what I'm saying? And this is what happens to us, and this is why we stay in the conditions that we're in. You see what I'm saying? Any more on that? All right, drop that. Let me get James 4:4. Somebody.
James 4:4.
Okay.
James chapter 4, verse 4. We adulterers and adulteress.
And say you adulterers and adulteresses. You see what I'm saying? Like typically an adulterer is a man who sleeps with a woman who has a man. Adulteress is a woman who sleeps with anybody outside of her man. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The Lord is calling us adulterers and adulteresses because we serve false gods. You see what I'm saying? We serve other gods outside of him, man. And that makes us an adulterer and adulteress. Keep going.
Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
Lord say, know you not that the friendship of this world is enmity with God, is opposition with the Most High, man. Like we want to be friends to this world. We want to seek this peace. If we want to trust this world, you see what I'm saying? That means that we're in opposition to the Most High, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, how does that, once the Most High is not on your side, who the hell can be on your side? You see what I'm saying? If you're going to choose this oppressor, the man who's unaliving us, if you're going to choose him, his culture, and his ways over the Most High, and we become opposition to the Most High, who do we turn to then? Like, realistically speaking, who do you turn to? Because the scripture earlier told us, as sure as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right.
His wickedness is going to show for sure. Who do you turn to when his wickedness shows? You don't have nobody to turn to. And unfortunately, a lot of us been down that road where we ain't had nobody to turn to. We couldn't even turn to the Lord. Because we chose an oppressor over the Most High himself because we didn't want to do what he told us to do, man. Like that's the reality of seeking peace, man. Like, let alone it's cowardly. Like it's cowardly. You see what I'm saying? Like, why seek peace with someone who hates your guts?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, why seek the peace? Just because I'm not seeking your peace, that ain't mean, listen, I ain't gonna put my hands on you. I ain't gonna do none of those things. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, we ain't no Christians.
Right.
You know, we will defend ourselves if need be, but we're not going out there starting nothing. We ain't putting our hands on nobody. You see what I'm saying? We're actually taught not to do those things. You see what I'm saying? But how much of a coward must we be to go and seek peace with the person that's unalived our family? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Not only unalived our family, walks around with an arrogance to the point where as though he don't even feel a need. He don't even feel a need, you know, to say, hey, listen, I was wrong. Like he won't even admit his wrong though.
Right.
He's too proud for that. You see what I'm saying? To the point where as though he walks around so arrogant that not only has he unalived family members, he's still going to unalive and call himself putting our family out the country that was originally theirs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And yet we still seek a peace with him. Why? You know, a big reason we homeborn slaves. You know what one of the biggest causes of that homeborn slavery is? That Christian church, man. Like, if you don't understand nothing from us, better understand that Christian church is just as wicked as all outdoors, man.
Right.
And they got us looking weak. They got us looking soft. They got us looking like, we not even a people worthy of respect. You see what I'm saying? And this is not what the Lord wants from us. Any more on that?
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
Whoso therefore will be a friend of the world. Yeah, go ahead. Start it from the top real quick.
James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
It is. All right.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
There it is right there, man. You want to be a friend to this world? You make yourself an enemy to the Lord, man. You want to be a friend and seek peace with the suppressor? You make yourself an enemy and you seek war with the Most High, man. You see what I'm saying? Like this is just where we at, man. And we've always been here. But now the Lord is telling us, the Lord has sent his priests and prophets to warn his people, like, listen, we got to go a different route. You see what I'm saying? We can't be up here shucking and jiving and dancing in these people's face, man. Trying to, prosper off of them. You see what I'm saying? We think by us doing those things that they're going to turn around and, make equality a real thing for us. We're going to prosper and make so much money with this new regime and stuff like that. That's not how it works, man. Like when you face the fact, excuse me, when you face the fact that you become an enemy to the Lord by being a friend to this world, man. Give me a bottle of water. That's a scary place to be in, man. When all else fails, when all else fails, like at the end of the day, the water, I got it. Yeah, like when all else fails, like at the end of the day, you want to be able to always go to the Most High, man.
Right.
You can't go to the Most High, man, like that. Like, good night. You see what I'm saying? That's a rough place to be in. You see what I'm saying? But that's the position we put ourselves in when we want to be friends with the world. Drop that. Let me get Matthew 6:24, Bubba Kashar.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
No man can serve two masters out. You feel me? Like, you can't have two people in your ear. You see what I'm saying? One telling you do one thing, one telling you do another thing. You can't have two people, that you're trying to serve. You see what I'm saying? Because keep going. Let's finish this first. Keep going.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Yeah, so you got two masters in your ear. One telling you do one thing, the other telling you do something different. You're gonna learn to love one of them, and you're gonna wind up hating the other. You see what I'm saying? And the way we see things, like we look at the Most High, and we make it like what He's asking us to do is so hard, so hard, and so unattainable that we fall into the trick bag of listening to that master that we shouldn't listen to. You see what I'm saying? Like that master that tells us that we're all everything, we're all equal. You see what I'm saying? God loves everybody. You see what I'm saying? We fall into that trick bag and we start serving that master, man. That's when we start to lose ourselves, man.
Right.
And we don't realize when we do that, we actually show the Most High that we hate Him, man. Keep going.
or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
And that's what happens, man. We hold on to the masters of this world. But when it comes to the Most High, we despise the Most High. That's why we still celebrate days that the Lord told us not to celebrate. We don't look at it like that, but that's exactly what it is. Every time we start to do certain things that the Lord tell us not to do, we're showing him that we despise him, man. And this is why we can't be friends with this world. Like the scripture that we read in Ecclesiasticus said, when you listen to the Most High, it'll be like you looking through you wiped off a looking glass and you pretty much seen it for what it is.
Right.
This is the beauty of listening and getting into these scriptures, man. Because once you get into these scriptures and you realize, damn, the Lord is actually telling you the truth about certain things, you feel me? Then when things start to come your way, you can see them for what they are before it's revealed to everybody else. You can see the play already happen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is the master that we serve, man. That's the master that should have our ear. Not the master who tells us that, yeah, I done unalived your brothers and we're going to unalive some more. We're going to get them out the country. You see what I'm saying? But listen, I'm going to make sure that you don't get taxed on your overtime in the future. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to bring businesses back to America. We're going to make America great again. That's the master that we like to serve. You see what I'm saying? But the Most High, we don't want to serve him. We say that that's too hard, man. You can't keep all his laws. That's what we say. Ain't that right, Matthew? Drop that. Let me get a Hosea 8:17. Yeah, Hosea 8:17. Let me double check it. My bad. Verse 12.
Hosea chapter 8, verse 12. I have written to him the great things, my laws, but they were counted as a strange thing.
Hey, the Lord has written to us great things, man, but they counted as strange, man. Do you not know that keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High is counted as strange? That's counted as you being holier than thou now. You see what I'm saying? That's counted as you being, you tell a person, hey, yeah, I keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God. Now you're a liar.
Right.
It's so strange for a person to keep the law, statutes, and commandments now. But the things that are strange, we look at that as normal, man. Like, if you look at what's going on today in society, man, like even this society, things that's acceptable now, 10 to 15 years ago, was considered strange, man. But now everything is turning over. The Lord has got laws, statutes, and commandments in his book. He's got high holy days. He's telling us what we should do, what we shouldn't do. He's telling us who we can sleep with, who we can't sleep with. He's telling us who to trust, who we can't trust. And those things are considered strange now, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, this what happens when we start to serve two masters. And we want to listen to the other master. When we want to listen to the other master, the great things that the Lord has written is considered strange then. But the great things that this other master have is considered normal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's the nature of things. You see what I'm saying? This is why you can't serve two masters, and that's why the things that the Lord written in this book, it ain't considered strange. It's only considered strange when we allow another God or another nation to be our master, man. You see what I'm saying? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we got to come out of this. We gotta we really gotta show the Most High the spirit that he put in us by at the very least listening to what he tells us to do.
Right.
Like, how can we trust the person that's been murdering us for years, man? Murdering our families. Like this is a common sense type thing. Like you get away from something that's going to continuously hurt you, right? That's a natural thing. You see what I'm saying? Like you never see the antelopes dwelling and chilling with the lions. The antelope know that that lion is going to eventually get hungry and kill him and eat him. You see what I'm saying? But yet and still, we want to be in the face of our oppressor. We want to seek his peace and we want to do the things that he tells us to do. You see what I'm saying? We want to eat the foods he tells us to eat. We want to be a friend to him. And in essence, we make ourselves an enemy to the Lord. Let me get Isaiah 5:23, Baba Kasha.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 22.
No.
Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine.
No, it's like 5:23. Hold on one second. I'm looking for the cup of affliction. Hold on one second. Isaiah 51. Slightly. Isaiah 51, my bad. Yeah, it started verse 22.
Isaiah chapter 51, verse 22. Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
Here, the Lord is saying that He's taking He's taking it out of our hand. You see him saying the cup of trembling, even the dregs, like the dregs of the cup is like the bottom, the sludge at the bottom of the cup. He's taking, it say, even the dregs of the cup of my fury, thou shalt drink it no more again. The Lord is saying He's going to take those things away from us. You see what I'm saying? The Lord will take those things away from us, but we at the very least, got to be doing what He tells us to do. Right. Because if He's going to take it away from us, that means He's going to give it to somebody else. But if we want to listen and we want to befriend and we want to be one with somebody, that person He going to give it to, guess what? We're going to get it again. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord is taking it from us. Read verse 23, Papa Kasha.
Verse 23. But I will put into the hand of them that afflict thee.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee. You see what I'm saying? So that same person that we seeking peace with, that we try to be cool with, that we want to trust, the Lord said, I'm going to take that cup of affliction from you and I'm going to put it in His hands. Keep going.
Which have said to thy soul, bow down.
Which have said to thy soul, bow down. That's what they do to us, man. They tell us, bow down, man. Kiss the ring. That's what they tell us to do. Go ahead.
That we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground.
Meaning they have stepped over our dead bodies. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
And as the street to them that went over.
Yeah, here it is. The Lord is saying, I'm going to take all of that. I'm going to take all of that affliction that you've had. I'm going to take it from you, and I'm going to put it into the person who had it on you. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing. The Lord can do that. But where will we fall in that mix? If we want to continue to trust them, if we want to continue to seek their peace, you know what happens? We're going to get the same punishment that they get. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is the time. Like I know we've been talking about World War III for a minute now. Listen, we are on the brink. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is separating His people. He's calling His people out of this treacherous society. He's calling His people from the four corners out of whatever nation we're in. You see what I'm saying? It's high time that we get on our game, man. Stop seeking peace with these oppressors and seek peace with the Most High, man. And that's what we got to do. With that, I want to say shalom, Baltimore. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're under Commanding General Yohana. And if it's not under Commanding General Yohana, it's not the truth. We've been bringing out this truth since 1969, that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. And this oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And at this time, we're going to call up on Officer Matham for reading of the security announcements. Shalom, Baltimore.
All right. We're gonna have to talk about that. That was heavy. That's heavy, man. We got to stop following our oppressor. You know, that's why we in the condition we in. You know, Most High gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to follow, not the oppressor. The oppressor is why we are in the affliction we are in, because we choosing to celebrate Christmas and Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving, all of these holidays that the Most High told us not to follow. You know, security announcements. We're the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a person or brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from their head to marry, tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. It means 10th in the Hebrew. It's pronounced ma'ashara. 10th of every penny of any increase given. Give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming Holy Convocation. That's the Feast of Purim. That's in March, right? March 2025, the Feast of Purim. You know, we're going to get together. We're a little ways off. So just keep in touch, keep informed. We'll keep you informed. Remind Akim and Aquathium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Imajim. Brother Stan, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatha,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatha.
Yajimata. Class dismissed.
Hey,